What is up, ladies and gents? Ghost here, back with another episode of Ghost Stories. So, I just had a pretty long weekend of work, about more like 45 hours or so. It's been a bit mental, and I just woke up this morning, not sure when you guys will be watching this video, and I've been looking at quite a few different pieces of news about EA concerning Hardline, Day-1-DLC, and pre-order bonuses, and all that kind of stuff. I was actually watching Zionov's video, so if you don't know Zionov, go and check him out. He's called Zionov for the win, and he's an awesome YouTuber. But after watching his video, it made me want to get a few thoughts of my own out on these subjects, and I thought it might be a good opportunity for an episode of Ghost Stories. So if you aren't aware of the news surrounding Hardline at the moment, let me fill you in. Now, just like when Battlefield 4 came out, there's a regular version of Hardline, and there is a digital deluxe edition. Now, if you order the regular edition, you basically just get the base game, and a few battle packs thrown in there. If you order the digital deluxe edition, you get around 10 battle packs or so, which is not really any big deal, but you also get 3 weapons thrown in that you will otherwise not be able to gain access to, presumably, in the full game, at least not until after a number of months. So I guess we should probably tackle this first. This is just really bad business practice, in my opinion, and I feel really sorry for Visceral in this point, because all of this doing of having Day 1 DLC and what I call bad business practice towards the consumer that is going to benefit EA, this is all EA is doing. And it's not like Visceral aren't already receiving enough flack and enough dislike about their new game due to the sales of Battlefield 4, due to some people perceiving it as not a true Battlefield game, and, you know, blah blah blah. I guess that's a whole other argument that we could get into further down the line, but now EA are starting all this stuff with Day 1 DLC. So the issues I have with Day 1 DLC is that they've essentially shaved off a portion of what was designed to be in the full game, and they've made that a Day 1 DLC that you can purchase for the extra €10, or I suppose dollars or pounds that it costs to buy the digital deluxe edition. Now, in the past, things we've seen from special editions of games have usually included things like CDs with audio tracks on them, concept art, just, you know, perhaps things like a story that will enhance your enjoyment of the game. If you're somebody who just really wants to back the game, you really like the game, you want to pay the extra money for it because you think that that company deserves your extra money, then they will sort of reward you with a few little, maybe sneak peeks behind the scenes of the creation of the game. You guys know the sort of thing, I'm sure you're familiar with it. However, making 3 different weapons available to people who choose to pay more money for the game and not available to everybody else is pretty downright disgusting business practice from EA. Especially when we know that these games have been in earlier Hardline builds. They're, you know, YouTubers and other personalities, they've gotten to play with these builds, so we know that they were in the game, and now they've essentially taken some of the full game, shaved it off from the full game, and made it separately purchasable by buying the digital deluxe edition. I think this is just incredibly greedy of EA, especially given how how Battlefield 4 turned out on the release of its game. I really think that they should be trying to make amends with some of their consumers, not, you know, take the piss, quite frankly. I mean, €10 for 3 weapons? Are you serious? You know, the price of a DLC in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3 was not much more than €10, and for that you'll be getting 5, you know, gadgets or weapons that you can unlock, 4 new maps, maybe some new game modes, and they're trying to charge you essentially 10 extra euros just for 3 weapons. It's disgusting, quite frankly. I can't believe that they're actually trying to do this, and, you know, once again, I feel so sorry for any of the developers who are under EA and who are being subjected to having to treat their game in such a way. I mean, isn't $60 enough? Especially these days when the majority of people are buying digitally available games, so there's no hard copy of the game, there's no hard manual, there's no shipping and distributing of the game to the various distributors around each and every country. There's no, you know, having to keep up with stock availability. Codes for the game can almost instantaneously be generated, yet they're still charging the exact same prices for games as they were when you would always buy a hard copy in game if you lived in the UK, or, you know, Walmart or wherever you used to get your games from. Anyway, before I get too heated, let's get on to the second thing, and that is some of the pre-order bonuses that you can get for Hardline. So first of all, one of these weapons that you can get for buying the Digital Deluxe Edition is also available if you pre-order the game. So this really falls under the same argument that I have for the Digital Deluxe Edition. Apart from that, if you're an Xbox One owner and you have EA Access, which I believe is a monthly subscription that you can buy on Xbox One, you will be able to play the game for a total of 10 hours starting on March the 12th. I'm not exactly sure how these 10 hours will be split up, if it will be just a limit of 10 hours. You can play as much as you want in one day, and once those 10 hours are up, your game time is over. I don't really know how it's going to work. But again, you know, exclusivity for one random platform seems to be strange. I know it happened, I think with the first beta that was only available on PS4 and PC. I don't think Xbox owners got access to the first beta, and that was unfair as well. But at the end of the day, that is a beta, it's a test. It's not something anyone's paying money for, so I think that if they want to bring out that beta on certain platforms, that's their prerogative to do so. This is a full game, this is people who are buying a game, and I really think if they're going to have things like pre-order bonuses for early access, they should do it across all platforms. And I know that pre-order bonuses like this, getting early access to a game, getting some free playtime is nothing new, but it just seems so stupid to me. Like 10 hours, like who really gives a toss? It's 10 hours, like, I'm going to tell you guys, like, you know, I'm not going to pre-order the game, I'm not going to buy the Digital Deluxe Edition. And by the way, I hope this whole sort of ranty argument, if that's what it sounds like, isn't shining a dark light on Hardline as a game, because I do enjoy the game, and I think it's a good game, and I'm prepared to pay 60 euros for that game in order to play it. But all of this practice from EA with the pre-order bonuses and the second special edition, I'm not going to buy into that at all. I think it's going to be one of those things, after a month of the game being out, nobody's going to give a toss if you have one of those 3 special DLC weapons that everybody doesn't have. And you might think, you know, that as a YouTuber, I would want to get early access to the game, and I would want to, you know, get my hands on those weapons so I could bring you guys videos on that. But just because of this practice, I just don't subscribe to that kind of thing, and I don't think any of you guys should either. Of course, all of you are free to make up your minds, but it's the old saying of, if you build it, they will come. If EA keep putting out this kind of bullcrap and people keep pre-ordering games to get access to early weapons, then EA are just gonna keep doing that sort of thing. And not only that, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. You know, it's a bit like telling a child to stop eating so many cookies, but then you keep on buying cookies and giving it to him. Of course he's going to keep on eating them, right? Yeah, I am aware I did just compare EA to a child, and I suppose I will let you guys make up your minds whether that's a fair comparison or not. Anyway guys, that's really all I wanted to say about the issue. I know a lot of other YouTubers have been talking about this, and I don't necessarily want to repeat things that have already been said, but I just really wanted to quickly voice my opinions on this, and that this is not a good business practice. This is not what consumers want or need, and I think the amount of dislikes over on the Battlefield official YouTube channel on the latest pre-order trailer speaks for itself. Right now it's got around 2,200 likes and around 2,900 dislikes, so yeah, for a video to get that many dislikes as opposed to likes, it really, really says something about how the community feels. Anyway guys, if you want, leave some comments down below. Let me know if you're going to bother pre-ordering or buying the Digital Deluxe Edition for this game or not, and if so, perhaps your reasons why. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.